Check 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Yes, this is His Lordship, and today's show is for blocked people only. So if you've never been blocked, you know, you can hang out, but this is only for the victims, the the people who've been blocked on other people's channels. This is a shelter. This is an emergency shelter for blocked people. So we're going to go over some videos I made recently about this one particular channel. And I never heard people who just don't give a damn about the victims. Like, there's been times where, you know, there was times where the victim was obviously up to something, right? But you still had some. I mean, if you're going to give the accuser the benefit of the doubt, and the only reason you're giving him a benefit of the doubt is because he's famous, they don't have 1 ounce of sympathy for the victim. If you're going to have sympathy for, you know, like, you might as well have, look, they all nuts, the victims and the accuser. You might as well spread that sympathy all the way around. So let me turn up the music because I got a call coming in.
Computers do it better. 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 Computers do it better. 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 We know you like that myth. We know you like hardcore. We know your every thought. We hope you don't get caught. Computers do it better. 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 Break it down. We see. We want to see.
Okay, I like that other option. Actually, computers do it better. That's actually one of my own songs that came out on my album. So most of the music you hear on my channel is either from my production, my group, or somebody like a label mate or something like that. I'm from the independent music world. I've been involved in independent music since 1996, and I make porno music for robots. But you know, there's no robot porn yet. But when it comes out, I will have music to offer to that industry. Yeah. So I am pressed for time. I'm sorry. I just got a very important business call. And this is why I don't go live very often. This is why I make a million videos. But when I do go live, best believe it's a circus. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut right to the chase. And I want you to see how unsympathetic these people are. But at the same time, yes, no sympathy for anyone. They all going to roast. There's already the devil already hooking up the warming up the grill. He got the hickory charcoal and and the charcoal and the wood and everything ready. Can't nobody barbecue like the devil. The devil can barbecue. He know how to create apps like Big O. The devil is he can sing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why these people get so seduced by a singer. You know, um, Charles Manson was a singer. He was not a hippie. I repeat, Charles Manson was not a hippie. The media portrayed him as a hippie, but he hated hippies. He was a singer from Texas. He carried his guitar. He came out west to seduce people and manipulate people. He had chemical warfare, LSD. He had a weapon, a vibration weapon, the guitar, and women thought he was sexy. You see, just like R. Kelly. I do believe that he created this whole industry. I mean, his own little world, so he could do what he wants sexually. I don't think he cared about money or fame as long as he can touch what he want to touch. And you can't compare yourself to Hugh Hefner or Martin Luther King. I don't even know how you could put Hugh Hefner and Martin Luther King in the same bucket, in the same sentence, in the same paragraph. Now Hugh Hefner, I'm not dissing Hugh Hefner because some of those articles that was in Playboy magazine were historical. As a matter of fact, it actually had an effect on society. And I'm not talking about the news because Larry Flint had better pictures. I don't give a fuck. Penthouse had better pictures. But the articles, one article, I'll give you an example. One article in Playboy helped Jimmy Carter become president. Yeah. Because he was just a big apple head, funny looking. He looked like Charlie Brown. Okay, he was the governor of a state that had more animals than people. There wasn't nobody checking for Jimmy Carter until an article came out in Playboy that was written by the same guy who they made the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That movie was about an author, and that author wrote about Hell's Angels, Jimmy Carter, a whole bunch of people. Yeah. No sympathy at all. Diva in the house? Okay. Wifey in the house, observing stuff in the house. And everybody that got lost in the sauce because I had to shut down, I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? And due to circumstances beyond my control, but I will be back because I'm going to be working on some intros and outros because that's what I do. But I cannot unleash the Kraken like I want to. I wish I could. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot unleash the Kraken like I want to. But these some real hustlers. Now, I'm going to give them a chance to unblock me. If they unblock me tomorrow, you don't block people and don't know how to unblock them. Like, if you're going to be bold enough to block somebody, be bold enough to learn how to unblock somebody. That's all I'm saying. So, let's change modes and let's show them how we do it over here. All hail his lordship.
a slice. When you taste it, you wanna squeeze it right. When you face it, you wanna break the ice.
I'm listening.
Eleven. Y'all almost keeping up. We got 11 likes, 19 people in the chat. Should be 19 likes. Hit that like as you enter the chat. Welcome everybody. Welcome to this page here. This is where we're gonna have fun tonight.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's
21 people in, 11 likes. Let's hit the like. Let's hit that like. Let's hit that like. Let's hit that like, please. Hit the like. Hit the like.
try to mod my folks.
Hmm.
Where my people at? Where my people at?
Hmm. It's
I
coming. Heal the land. Please, you better get your minds because some folks will come in here. We can have it. They're gonna be on it. Let them say something they ain't supposed to be. Let's get them likes, people. Love it coming in here. 22,
Okay, here we
20.
go.
That's right. 22 in here and 20 likes. Hit that like on your way in. Hit that like on your way in. Will somebody lift these burdens
It's
off of
all for
me?
me.
Off of me.
So at least we know it works for tonight.
You see how those likes are important. Hold on. You see how those likes and stuff are important. Get those views, get those subs in. We'll give you $50. We'll give you $10. We'll give you $100. Subs, views, likes, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. Man, shit. This is some kind of like Ponzi scheme. This thing got nothing to do with R. Kelly. Anyway, check it out.
Thank you, Randa, baby. She
Hmm.
got me going. Okay.
Hmm.
But
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't have enough dude. Where my dudes at? Where my dudes at? There go Michael. Here
Come
we
on, there
go.
go Michael's up
There
in
go
here.
Michael.
Dom's up in
Okay,
here.
Michael. I already modded my Dom already.
Mm,
You need to go Randa. There she go. Here we go.
mm.
Hey girl.
Hey, thank you. Thank
Red
you.
Bunny,
Got me
you in
going
here?
on.
Are you in
Yeah,
here, Red Bunny?
that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. You know, you could be on your main page and this one at the same time.
Really? Okay.
Mm,
All you gotta do is click on both of them when you go live.
Okay.
mm.
Expansion casting shadows over the sun. Died on somewhere in the river of timelessness. So thank you for tuning in to His Lordship live stream. Well, I'm a firm believer in the Lord also. I think God will have the last word also. And it just kills me. The Mann Act, well, yeah, it was invented for Jack Johnson and his white wife that used to be a prostitute. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Many, many, many years ago, Jack Johnson, the greatest boxer on earth, had a white wife that was a prostitute. They created a law so he wouldn't be able to take her from state to state. But since then, many black on black crimes, a black man was charged with the Mann Act. And also, politicians, white politicians, have been busted for the Mann Act also between New York and Washington, D.C. So let's get our facts straight. Let's not just speak off the cuff or out the side of our necks. And yeah, unfortunately, the age of consent for the majority of the United States is not that high, but it doesn't make it right, and it's nothing to smile about.
With the Mann Act, that is a racist law. But listen to this. They try to camouflage it, making you think that it's about women. No, it's the white, taking white women across state line. So that's what it is all about. Yeah, the one from Utah. Yes, Joycelyn, that's the one. See, they just didn't want to be blatant and tell you. See, they didn't want to make it blatant, but that's what it is. The other thing, they are standing on the state law of Illinois, the statutory state law. So, meaning even though it's a federal case, y'all, everything hinged on that particular state's law. And I told some of you get that already about it, but that's what they're hinging it on, that the state law. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Even though the age of consent in federal is 18, but in Illinois is 17. So they have to go by what Illinois, since they're being charged from Illinois, they gotta go by what Illinois said. If Illinois said they were 17, then that's what it is. So that's why his case in the charges or the jury charge and verdict sheet doesn't have anything to do with underage. Did y'all know that? Hello.
My mom would go to McDonald's before she go to work, before I go to school, and she would get us a Danish. It's all we could afford is a Danish and a cup of coffee. But she had this cheap lipstick, and she would taste the coffee to make sure it was sweet enough. And she'd leave the ring of lipstick on the coffee from which she tastes the coffee. And I remember when she would give me mine, when I would sip from the cup, I would turn it around and I would drink from her lipstick part. Because in a son-mother way, I had a serious crush on my mom because she could sing her butt off. And I just looked up and down to her. I looked around, I looked everything about my mother. I loved her. And I even asked her to marry me one day. I was like, nah. She said no. But you know what?
I was a pedophile when I was a child, but he bought me a Gucci and turned a good girl to a groupie. Good girl went bad, it was all for a bag. I ain't never had nothing, I was too geek. And yeah, sugar daddy kept me real sweet, but he kept a girl fried like a two-piece. He knew homegirl love doing cocaine, so he ain't never need a roofie. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was out my mind doing line up the line like a loose leaf. Sold my piece to a thief, but it wasn't just him, had about 10 brickies, Lucy. And they all was abusing, but since they had a bag, I was choosing. Selling my soul, but the money was gold, and I didn't wanna be alone no more. So if he had the money, I would roll. Money had all that control on me, but I ain't wanna stay, but it's worse if I leave. So yeah, let him use me, but it wasn't long for the devil had to lose me. And I ain't going back, God didn't use me. All I ever had was a dream, all I ever needed was a team. And now I got G-O-D, and I know he got me. Gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci. Turning good girls into groupies. Good girls going bad, all for a bag. We ain't never had nothing, we be too geek. First ever sugar daddy kept me too sweet, but he kept a girl fried like a two-piece. And I done did a whole lot of cocaine, but God ain't let me OD.
What's up? This is His Lordship going out for a walk in the elements amongst the trees so I can think and talk briefly. Not going to take up much of the time. So, this channel that blocked me and timed me out several times just because of my statements. You know how the routine goes. They were sad that R. Kelly, was proven guilty. Now, If he was proven innocent, I wouldn't have blocked people or timed people out in my chat room. I would have let them celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Because we have another trial. It ain't like this is his only charge. We got to go from state to state. We got other places for him to deal with other charges. You know, so we still have the porn with the teenager and also prostitution situation to deal with. It's not over. Even if it was over, even if he have an appeal, he still got other charges to go with. Now, they act like this dude is Jesse Jackson or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Why wasn't he in the movie March on Selma? You know, you ever see him in one of them civil rights movies? Or one of those, like commemorating someone? Or a movie about any of our great leaders? No. You see him in those kiddie music videos about getting your freak on and stuff like that. It's the same party, same video, different people. You can't even tell the difference between a real birthday celebration and a music video. Hey, what's up? This is His Lordship. Yeah, so my last video showed you some of the courtroom artwork from the R. Kelly case. But check this out. Here's a lady who's been going to the courtroom, okay, and she's been trying to be any assistance to R. Kelly law team, and she is a godly woman. This lady is purely of God, but she wants to support a hormone growth, a fornicator, a person who's been accused by at least 50 people, just like Dr. York, and there's 400 pieces of evidence. So the lawyers are fumbling around because they're trying to get a mistrial. Now the state wants to change the language, and she's looking for precedents to go against that. And she found it. This lady really believes that Mr. Kelly is innocent. Check this out.
I was inside the courtroom, and the Tom came and talked to the judge regarding the statement in regards to the language that the government is requesting to change in the charge instruction to the jury. The government is asking the language to change, basically to say that even a person who is part of the enterprise does not have to know of any criminal activity of that person. Meaning, they're saying that, like, okay, say John is working for Robert, right? And John says that he didn't know that there was underage girls in there, even though John may not know. He participated, but since he did not know, they're saying that even if he doesn't know, even if he knows, they can charge Robert with as a RICO. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain it.
If you can't explain it, how do you expect us to understand it? And you know, everybody was on the payroll. If you were supposed to be an engineer in the studio, you're qualified to be an engineer, to work with major artists. But your job is to pick up women and bring them to the studio and not speak to them. You went from engineer to limo driver. You know what I'm saying? A glorified Uber driver. And you bring them to they check the ID. and then they bring them to the studio and check the ID again. And your job is to move girls from this room to that room. Make sure they don't leave these rooms. And make sure this and that, and do this for Mr. Robert. And we have these rules. We have, the rules for the employees, and then we have the rules for the visitors. Racketeering, plain and simple. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Latoya, the judge was asking defense team to find a law because the government is asking changes in the language of the charges for and so the judge basically agreed with the government in regard to the language, in the language stating that everybody in the enterprise does not need to know the illegal activities of the person that's at the head of the enterprise. So she told the defense to find a case that basically can help with his objection to what the government had stated. So he gave her until lunchtime to provide her with the cases that shows that everybody that's part of the enterprise, the co-defendants that are being charged or that are part of it has to know the illegal activities of the enterprise. So that is what they talked about this morning. And the judge told defendants that the defense team that they had to provide that. I thank God that Karen Harris did submit a couple of cases, and I just forwarded over to the defense team. So thank you guys. Thank you for all you guys, what you have done. Thank you, Nakia. Nakia has submitted some stuff too, and I just forwarded everything that you guys has just done to
Hi, this is Anthony Harris. You're listening to the broadcast and live stream of the United Smart Broadcasters Collective. And we promise to bring you great content, stimulating visuals, and great conversations because we also listen too. So thank you for tuning in to His Lordship live stream. Just as rude and disrespectful as the accused. I can't believe it. This rude, mad, cursing people out, refusing to interview with the black press, but when the white press come with the black employee, she shuts down her whole show and talks to him and didn't even know who the company was that he represent. She don't know who Reuters is. Okay? The black press came at her. I ain't gonna say her name, but you'll see it in the comments at the end of the video. But she accepts Reuters' interview because they sent the Negro to speak to her. But they pro-black and they godly, but they support him. What Christian listens to his music? I don't get it. Is his lyrics godly? What's the godly part? What sit-ins and protests and dinners in Washington D.C.? Did he sit by Obama's side? Did he have any plans like Kanye had with Trump? Did he have some plans that he had for Obama? Some issues, a list of black problems that he wanted to represent? I mean, T.I. did more than fucking R. Kelly, and he's a joke. Anyway, yeah, this is crazy. Well, I ain't gonna say he a joke, but you know, it's comedy. He the wrong one to represent a group of people. You know what I'm saying? But this rude and disrespectful. I think I have a sample of that in here somewhere. I might have to let some of the audio play from this video clip, but they big mad. You know, like I said, this is part 2. I was blocked and I was timed out, you know, because I went in there undercover, you know, because I already knew. Cussing people out at the trial. People can't be happy that this guy is off the street, just like that other guy, you know. And then they said that you don't know nothing about the Mann Act and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you don't know nothing about the Mann Act. Go read about it. It's changed since 1913, you know. And really, it was a man's testimony of being a victim that really shut it all down. Well, we're going to ignore that, you know. So, at first, they were praising the jury. I commend the jury for taking time to go over every little detail and every little thing. And yeah, I commend the jury too. And now, when the verdict didn't come out their way, oh, they're sellouts. They were paid off. They're coons. Wait till you read some of the comments in their chat room. The place that blocked me and timed me out. You know how I do. When I get timed out or blocked, that's when I pay close attention. That's when I do a thorough research like Columbo. You see what I'm saying? My body is telling me no, but my mind
My mind is telling me yes. There's definitely something wrong. Underage bump and grind. Yeah, these people are emotional. Check this out.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't understand. And they're having a good time. They're happy. How can you be happy for somebody to we all know Robert's not a perfect man, but he doesn't deserve a definitive guilty verdict on all counts. I don't get it. No, I don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I know Jaja's not over. I know it's not over it, but I just the human side of me trying to comprehend why this is even happening. And then they did that press conference and they laughing and happy that I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. I think they're all trying to they put Aaliyah in there because they all tried to get revenge for Aaliyah and for him winning that case before. It's just like an OJ thing. They couldn't get them before. They try to get them now. It's like payback.
And if you look at the tweet and look at the great thing about Twitter, I don't know if you can timestamp, but if you look at the tweet, I was the first one to tweet it the verdict. Look at everyone's channel and look at the time. I was the first one to tweet it the verdict. Out all the media outlets in the world that covered the trial, I was the first one to tweet it the verdict. So
go to this extent to want to send a man to jail all because you couldn't get no money, your career didn't take off the way you thought it should. Y'all should look stupid. Drea should look in her face and just blame herself for being one of the dumbest black sisters I ever seen in centuries, man. To send her kid's father to prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
All because some people are scorned.
Yeah. Yep. And then look at this whole thing. They basically just ruled that R. Kelly started his whole entire career just to lure in women and young girls. That's basically what they concluded. There's no way this
That
is
blew my
possible.
mind.
Come on now. You mean to tell me you convicted this man on the freaking RICO Act? Like his whole brand, R. Kelly, was just started only, solely, nothing else. Just go and do all this. Come on now.
And all that good music and all that talent was just allegedly, supposedly just a pickup.
Amen. All right, guys, I'll be back. Well, hold on.
I'm in a rush. I gotta go. So we're gonna skip to the more entertaining part of the show.
What's up, yo? If you like his lordship videos and stuff, well, now you can catch His Excellency on Big O playing videos
from YouTube. Also, His Lordship is on Instagram, His Lordship 2020. Okay, this is a rough recording because, I be in the matrix. Sometimes I don't have time to use my mic. I got my mic right here, but sometimes I just don't have time to be 100% with my broadcast, okay? But look, when you're organized and connected, sometimes you don't realize how organized and connected you are. You know what I'm saying? You have an organization when you have a bunch of people on your payroll and people will cooperate with you. When you have control, you know what I'm saying? This is the octopus. This symbolizes R. Kelly's organization. Okay? Somebody drew it, labeled it, they snitched on themselves. Okay? When you have the command of control, you know what I'm saying? You can do what you want until you break the law. Now, there is one exception I want to give some of R. Kelly's employees. Sometimes people can do things because they know what to do, but at the same time, they may not know what you've done. So I want you to check out this scene in James Bond Octopussy. Since they're using the octopus to represent their organization. In this scene, James Bond switches the Fabergé egg. He also bids on the egg, and they got the bid up to $500,000 for this egg. And he switched eggs on the auctioneer, and he did not do that with approval of the boss or the government. You see what I'm saying?
450, 450, 475. The bid is 450, 475. Against you, sir. No more than 450.
Jim?
The bid is 450,000 pounds. I have 475. 500,000 pounds. 500,000 pounds. I have £500,000 pounds. All done? Any more? Yours, sir. 500,000 pounds. The next lot is number.
He could have been stuck with it. I doubt it. He had to buy. He had to buy. He had to buy. He had to buy. But why? That's what I intend to find out.
One hoe is not enough. I should have said with strange undercover websites. Anyway, yeah, see, James Bond was acting on his own. He was using his instincts and hoping that he wouldn't get in trouble because he knows what his boss wants, and he knows that if he comes correct and come with the shit, that his boss would be happy and he'll be able to go to the next level and do other things. Well, it's the same for R. Kelly employees. They have to put their bid in, achieve the goal, bring the results to him, and then he approves it and he acts on it. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you could be deeply involved into something and you just don't know that you're involved in it. Do you think anybody in a cult knows they're in a cult? You can be in an organization, racketeering, and don't know that you're in an organization because, number one, you don't know the definition of racketeering, and you may not know the definition of a cult. Now, cult is not used in this context, but it should have been. A cult is nothing bad unless they do something illegal. So anyway, peace and hair grease. It's all about the money. The money. Keep it in the air. Wave it like you just... His Lordship, and they thought that was funny. So I didn't get that screenshot, but I got something else.
Let's go find out who did it. Let's see who's using their wrench improperly. Let's see who it is. Let's see who it was that blocked him. Well, come on now. Let's see. Let me go back up, see who blocked him. Unblock them.
His Lordship. I control the horizontal. I control the vertical. I control the con. What's up, yo? If you like His Lordship videos and stuff, well, now you can catch His Excellency on Big O playing videos from YouTube. Also, His Lordship is on Instagram. What's up? This is. And I guess we'll get back. We'll get back to those videos when I come back. I just want to skip to a couple of videos I thought was pretty funny. All right. Incapacitation.
Case laws or some motions that need to be filed or some things that need to be looked at by the attorneys that the attorneys are overlooking, please send them that information. Instead of holding it in and holding it against everybody, send them that information. The segregation amongst the supporters, the fans of R. Kelly has gotten out of fucking control. Is being a house nigga all that bad? You know, it's kind of like being a yeoman on the ship. A yeoman. You know, some people don't like the yeoman, and then some people feel like the yeoman is the best spot to be. So the field nigga and the house nigga. You know, I love the movie Sankofa. I really identify with Mutaparuka. But you know, as I get older and shit and living life and shit, I figured out one thing. The house nigga is eating. And the field nigga refused to educate himself. And then the field nigga go to the white man or whatever to get educated, and then he thinks he better than the house nigga. It's not ironic. So listen to these old slaves who still stuck in the past.
They need to charge R. Kelly with. And the fact that they had to reach back to 1910 to bring the Mann Act to charge him with that, and then throw on top a RICO case because anything else would have been impossible to prove, and they didn't even prove the RICO case.
Ever since 1913, to be exact, they invented a law called the Mann Act, and you know, I can't even tell you what the acronym stands for. Because if I could tell you what the acronym stood for, then what I just said sounds totally ridiculous. And after all these years, not one single white man has been charged in the Mann Act. And only black men who pimp white women and try to take them across state lines to this day is going to jail for the Mann Act, because there's only white people and black people in America, and all the laws is only to affect them to help one group. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the 1 2 1 2. I don't know what's going on with the video. You know, maybe they trying to flag. Maybe they trying to flag it. You know what I'm saying? It's too hard for them. They wasn't ready. And this is lightweight. This is light troll work. This is lightweight troll work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in a rush. But Jack Johnson, yeah, he was the first to be charged with the Mann Act. But it was two white guys after him. They got hit with the Mann Act. A long line of white dudes would scorn ex lovers, women that they snatched off the corner, off the out the they tried to save them out of the brothels and stuff. And then once they got tired of them, they would cut them off, or they get pregnant, so they cut them off. Now, some of these women had legitimate beefs, but some women abused the law, okay? But there wasn't this super mass capacity, because you gotta really think about what you're saying, Sylvia. You're saying that for some reason in the early 1900s, there was this mad rush for black men to get a white girl, and there was so many black men getting white women that they had to create a law to slow it down. Okay, these were white women. And first of all, why did they wait? Jack Johnson, all he did was mess with white women. He had at least two white wives. You know what I'm saying? One, they said she committed suicide. But look what Jack Johnson did. He married that hoe. Did R. Kelly marry that hoe? No, he abused her. I'm saying it like that because the infamous camp think that all the women are sluts and tramps and hoes, and they're lying, right? Well, the Mann Act were protecting women of the evening, because back then, if you was a prostitute, they thought you was insane. There was only two things they thought: either you was insane or you was being forced to prostitute. And if you was with a prostitute, you looked bad. If a lady came to your house that wasn't married to you, if you was seen on the street, you know what I'm saying? If a lady started spending the night at your house, anything like that, it made you look bad back then. People, they were very protective of morality back then. Now anything goes. People would laugh at what they did back then. And a lot of the laws was based on moral behavior. And so they did have to change the language of the Mann Act. But let's go back. They mentioned Chuck Berry. Man, it must have been between Jack Johnson and Chuck Berry, they had to be several white dudes and other races getting caught with that law. But it was 18 years, about 18 years apart, maybe 20 years apart, maybe 25 years. All right. But I could bring up Charlie Chapman, Lloyd Wright. And this is off of memory. I'm not looking at a Google page. Lloyd Wright, Charlie Chapman, and of course, they're all famous not too long ago, Elliot Spritzer. How come infamous, what's her name again? Sylvia didn't bring up Malachi Z. York? There was herpes involved, music involved, kids involved, slave labor involved, abuse involved. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, maybe y'all don't know. Why did she not compare R. Kelly to Malachi Z. York? 2 years ago, no, in 2018, Malachi Z. York tried to sue the government for $2 billion on the behalf of his organization and black people. All right. Z. York could have got a lesser sentence. He could have got like 5 to 15 years. He could have got like 5 years with probation and being a registered sex offender. But no, he wanted to play, this game, and they ran him up. They ran him up the pole for 135 years. And we can compare Z. York to R. Kelly. You know why? Because Z. York financed Planet Rock, and Planet Rock was recorded at Z. York studio. I bet you didn't know that. And on that note, I got to go. I really got to go, y'all. All right. Peace and hair grease.